I think there's some sentiment that there's some sort of moral victory out there that we hung with the champs, and that our defense played well, and Pat didn't have a crazy game, and Mr. Pfizer, we kind of shut him down a little bit. He didn't have his like crazy impact game. Obviously, he had some yards and stuff, but I felt like for the most part, we played really tough on defense, especially the last 3 quarters.
Since being inactive, New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers is back at it again, and this time his ire is Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
You did talk to Mr. Pfizer. You talked to Travis pregame, and obviously that was recorded. What were you talking about here? Were you talking about different vacs and what's potentially the one for you, or?
I think some things need to be left on the field. Listen, I think what it basically was I was just trying to do 2 things at the same time, and I kind of lost.
Didn't stick the landing there, Aaron.
Lost my track of train of thought, and it's tough when you're trying to do 2 things at the same time.
He attempted to take another shot at Kelce.
2 things at once.
And his co-host still didn't get it, instead offering this.
Because COVID does get you a little foggy. Remember, that is something that comes from the entire thing.
Let's get into it and explain why Rodgers is the biggest hypocrite of them all.
How many people do you think you killed? What's your count?
How many grandmothers?
Yeah,
Let's just do grandmothers.
I mean, I know you guys are. I don't find that part funny.
The owner of the New York Jets is Woody Johnson, a Trump confidant who served in his cabinet as ambassador to the UK with 0 political experience, but followed a trend. White billionaires in charge. Johnson has a net worth, per Forbes, of $10.7 billion. In 1886, his family founded a small company that operated out of a building with 14 employees. Those men, all brothers, were Robert Wood Johnson, James Wood Johnson, and Edward Meade Johnson. They would design a logo that came from the handwriting of James, which has been a signature style for over a century. They would pioneer first aid kits, initially designed to help railroad workers. It soon became the standard practice for treating injuries. They'd launch maternity kits, make their mark with baby powder and shampoo, sanitary protection products, dental floss, sterilized plasters, and more. In 1959, Johnson & Johnson bought a company, a research company, named McNeil Laboratories. Their core product, Tylenol. J&J continued their work in the pharmaceutical industry, including mainstream drug treatments for depression and schizophrenia, drug treatments for HIV/AIDS, and the first coronary stent. Now let's go back to that label that Rodgers gave Travis Kelce, Mr. Pfizer. Rodgers' restructured deal with the Jets via NBC New York is 2 years, $75 million. This man has made over $300 million playing football. How does he get paid, though, by the New York Jets? Owner Woody Johnson, of course. The heir to Johnson & Johnson, one of the top pharmaceutical companies in the world. And an important note in all of this, in 2006, Johnson & Johnson's history came full circle when it bought Pfizer, along with Listerine. But Pfizer, they bought Pfizer. Aaron Rodgers makes his money by being Mr. Pharmaceutical Company, Mr. Pfizer, because they were bought by J&J, and also the J&J COVID-19 shot.